Jamie, here's a question for you. When Desert Bus for Hope is not going on, but people want to help Child's Play and contribute, are there sort of avenues throughout the year?
Oh, yes. There are lots of ways to help Child's Play in both donating ways and non-donating ways. Because you can always donate if you if you find $20 on the street, you could totally donate it if you didn't need it. Or you could buy yourself a really nice meal, whatever you wanted to do with it. You can always donate to Child's Play, but you can also watch other events, which we have on our calendar at childsplaycharity.org/events. And there's tons of events, big and small. I love it when we see sort of flash mobs of like a tiny event that has like 5 viewers on Twitch, and then somebody sort of catches onto it and a whole bunch of people go in and watch them, because even if the donation total doesn't shoot up, like that makes them feel really cool. So there are donation events year-round run by the community that are awesome, and you guys should support them. I just saw in the chat, this is an awesome way to support us. You don't have to spend a dime. All you have to do is type in a URL. It's called Amazon Smile. And if you shop on Amazon, you can set Child's Play to your Amazon Smile charity. And instead of going to Amazon.com, you'll go to smile.amazon.com. And when you shop, they'll basically take a percentage of however much you purchased, and they will donate to us. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to give any extra money. We are available there all year long. It's a really easy program to set up. The Smile team has been amazing. Like, something that I really like is that not only it's a great program, but the people doing it are really kind-hearted and awesome. And it makes a huge difference. Like, I don't actually have the numbers off the top of my head. Eric's kind of our numbers guy, but I know that the checks that come in from Amazon Smile are big bumps for us. So if you are doing your holiday shopping, if you just set your bookmark to smile.amazon and add Child's Play as your charity, and it will stay as your charity. And then when you're doing your normal shopping, we do get a good donation from that. It's a small percentage per transaction, so if you're buying like $1 a year, it won't be a ton of money. But just like Desert Bus, when a whole lot of people come together and give what they can, when a whole lot of people add Child's Play as their smile, it adds up. And I can say confidently it is in the tens of thousands of dollars that we've gotten from Smile at this point. I don't know the exact number, but tens of thousands of dollars for us.
That's awesome. And the holidays are coming up.
The holidays are coming up. That's true.
I do a lot of my shopping through Amazon. Now I'm going to be doing it through smile.amazon.com.
Yes. I am almost exclusively an Amazon shopper these days, and I love... And they're, something that you might see is that they're experimenting a lot with like how they show you how much you've donated and how much the charity has gotten and stuff. So you might get little pop-downs that are like, hey, Smile has donated X amount of dollars to Child's Play, or you've donated X amount of dollars to charity. Cool. So they actually do a lot of like studying on the back end of how to do that. So they're a great team, and it's a great cause. So if you aren't in an Amazon area, bummer, but that's okay, because there are tons of other ways to support. We talked about events, we talked about donating.
Jamie, do you want to just go over quickly again the significance of the $7 in your Fan Gamer
Yes,
challenge?
absolutely. So the Fan Gamer challenge right now is for $7. It's a $7 donation. And for every $7 that Child's Play receives, that means we can equip a child entirely, a hospitalized kid. That means console, handheld console, iPad, games, and movies.
They have access to all of
They
these
have
things.
access to all of that during their hospital stay for $7. So for every entry into this giveaway, you are providing a hospitalized child with joy.
And iPads are, like, things like iPads are useful for other things too,
Super
right?
useful. So one of my favorite stories that I got from a hospital a couple of years ago was that they're an adult hospital that has a children's wing. And they received a shipment of iPads from us, and they actually gave, I think, 1 or 2 of the iPads to their adult wing. And when kids or families were in accidents or had disasters happen to them, basically their house burned down, they were in a car accident or something, I never really thought about that situation, but the parents and kids are all going to have a, they're all going to need to go to the hospital. They're all going to need to respond. And so they would FaceTime the parents to the kids so that the kids could see, like, my mom or my dad is still alive. And because kids don't have great perception of that sort of thing. It's really scary. Everything's disrupted. And so they would FaceTime and say, hey, I'm just getting some bandages. I'm just getting, fixed up, but I'm okay. And it was incredibly useful and something that we never considered. So the iPads are hugely useful. They're hugely useful for the nurses and all of the staff. They use them to communicate. And so we have actually bumped up our giving of iPads because that's something that they need a lot.
So when you are donating your $7 or your multiple of $7,
Yes.
just realize that every single one of those donations is meaningful and will absolutely be used to help kids and their families.
Yes. Every donation counts. It's such a helpful, incredible thing that you guys are doing. And it's awesome. So those are some ways to help. I'll talk more about more ways later. You can get your local hospitals involved. You can run events on your own. And we're going to do a random dance party in a second, but there have been people asking about our domestic violence shelter program, and it's something that I'm super proud of because I worked on it myself really closely. We are in over 100 domestic violence shelters across the country now. We gave them an amazing, huge cart thing that has a TV, an Xbox, a suite of games. There were 2 different packages that they could choose from depending on the level of comic mischief they were comfortable with. So the domestic violence shelters are now implementing those, and we're actually going to do a big run of like, hey, how are they working in the next couple months? And iPads are the most compatible
With apps and things.
with
that we
apps
use.
and everything. Like we do actually give cheaper tablets. If you look, I have some pictures that I'll show you guys later of some kids that when we give a tablet to a child for them to take home, we have some tablets that we use that are both cheaper and they're like child-proofed basically, so they can only access child-appropriate content. And so for those tablets, we do actually source some really inexpensive ones through our Donate Games partners. But iPads are going to always be supported and have good apps and stuff. So we try to strike a really close balance. Like, we want to send the things that are going to be most cost effective, but we also don't want to send them games that are 10 years old or anything.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're sending them the coolest and newest, but also being responsible with your donations. So that's kind of the balance that we strike.
It looks like Eric is actually in the chat right
Yes.
now answering questions too.
Eric
So-
is also in the chat answering questions, so while we do a dance party, you guys can continue.
And while we're mentioning that, there's more reasons to go to the chat. BidBot, our automated bidding system, is just dumping Steam codes in the chat and has been all day.
Steve.
So if you're like watching and you're maybe on Twitch or maybe on desktop.org and you're like, hey, this is a cool thing that I am watching and not participating in, maybe consider hopping into the chat, because there's definite incentive to get involved. Even if you can't donate, even if you're just talking to us, even if you're just tweeting about it and talking to other people, all these things are cool.
Yep.
I wanted to jump in real quick before the dance party button. If you are curious as to why Ben is here, I have no idea. No, I told my personal story earlier in the run about how, I mean, it was before Child's Play, but when I was in a hospital as a child with cancer, I'm all good now. But it made a difference to have a gaming console, like just the amount of being able to be a child was huge for me and for my family. I got to be able to play games with my parents, who were obviously also needed an opportunity to not think about what was happening in their poor child's life. So I just remember at Child's Play dinner last year, there was this amazing, because I think it was the anniversary?
Yes.
The
It was the 10th anniversary of the dinner, I think.
Yeah, it was 10th anniversary, and there was some, it was amazing and wonderfully planned, as usual. But there were walls of pictures
The
of
retrospective.
thank you letters sent in by the kids, just these amazing little drawings, and just it really like hit my heart of just their specific, these children, their lives were changed and they wanted to send a thank you, and it was just walls and walls of just thank you letters, and I'm sure there were even more than you guys could have posted.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me is like I'm pretty good at keeping my tears getting those tears into fuel for helping the kids these days. But when they send me pictures, I have there's this one, and I'll get a whole file of them in a minute. But one is this little kid, stick figure child with a IV bag
Aww.
and an IV thing, and it says thank you so much, and it's like that's how they perceive themselves. That's their life, is being a hospitalized child, and we're able to give them relief from that. There's nothing but dance for that.